am Lakshmikant. Hope you all are fine, my dear. Here in this very topic, I am going to tell you about the mind map of cell cycle and cell division. Here in this very topic, this one is very important chapter, and you know that this one who relate with the chapter that the chapter is that is what cell medical. So you go through that first cell, then after you go through this one topic that is cell cycle and cell division. Here the basic thing is that what the mind map of cell cycle medical. See here here you see that the cycle which is occur continuously within the body. That very cycle is known as what cell cycle. See, if I'm saying about the cycle, it means what the things which is occurs in a repeatedly manner or in a sequential manner. So how it will occur, my dear? This one is the question. Now see, whenever we start this one cycle, the first of all, we should have to be must information about the division, my dear. Okay. So now see, I'm going to write here. I'm going to write here what? Cell division. Cell division means what? Division of cell. Division of cell is called what? Cell division. You know, my dear, why I'm saying this one division of cell is called cell division? Because see, suppose this one is a cell. Clear? This one is what? Cell. One is nucleus. And this one is what? A parent cell. What I'm saying? Parent cell. Getting? So if this parent cell become matured and grow, when this parent cell become grow, in a growth of this parent cell, then it again form in this way. Size will be the bigger. Clear? So now the nucleus first here goes to be what? Divide. Clear? And further, when this will go, then in this way. Clear? Again, see this one as the inner engulfing. Clear? And now further, this cell divide into two parts. Here also the growth. Here also the growth, my dear. And then after the cell will divide from here into how many parts? Two parts. See, into how many parts? Two parts. This one is the daughter cell. This one is what, my dear? Daughter cell. So see, here the division perform in two way. Number one, that is what? Number one is what? Karyokinesis. What I'm saying here? Karyokinesis. And second one is here is what? Cytokinesis. Getting my point or not? Tell me first. Here the division of the cell will start, but the division in a cell is which one? Karyokinesis, and then afterwards cytokinesis. So if anybody can ask you about the karyokinesis, what do you mean by karyokinesis? See, karyo means what? Nucleus. What are you saying here? Karyo. Karyo means what, my dear? Nucleus. And kinesis means what? Division. Getting my point? Getting my point? So see, if I'm saying here that division of nucleus is called karyokinesis. Division of nucleus, my dear. Okay? So division of nucleus is called what? Karyokinesis. Oh, so this thing is clear? Now again, this one is what? Cyto. What the meaning of cyto? That is cytoplasm. What I'm writing here? Cytoplasm, my dear. And again here I'm writing what? Kinesis. So this kinesis means again what? Division. Division. So that's why I'm writing here what? Division of, see what I'm writing here. Division of, which one? Division of cytoplasm. Called what? Cytokinesis. Getting my point? Here are the two things. One is the what? Karyokinesis. Second one is what? Cytokinesis. So which one occur first? Here you see the first occur what? Here, here the division of nucleus first, known as what? Karyokinesis. This one is the thing. And then after the cytoplasmic divide, known as what, my dear? Cytokinesis. So one thing is clear here that the division of cell is called cell division. And when the cell goes divide when the parent cell become matured, and this matured cell result in the growth of their cell. And then after whenever the growth of the cell will take place, then it forms what? Division. And this one is the word daughter cell. This two one is what? This two one is what? Daughter cell, my dear. Clear? So this one is known as division. So say this one thing. So here, the cell cycle. This one is about the cell cycle, and this cell cycle goes in what? Continuous manner. Clear? So see, after this one, what we should have to do now? See here in a cell cycle, I'm going to draw a cycle here again. So that's it. Get my point. Clear? See, in a cell cycle, my dear, see what I'm saying. Here the phases. This one is the phase. Yeah, clear? So see, here this one is what? M phase. This one is what, my dear? This is what? M phase. This one is which type of phase? M phase here. I'm making M phase. And this one phase is called interphase. So here we divide the cell cycle in how many phases? Two phases, my dear. Up to this one is known as what? Interphase. This phase is what? Interphase. See what I'm saying? Here, the cell cycle divide into how many phases? Two phases. Number one, that is M phase, that is mitotic phase, and second one is what? Interphase. In M phase, it further be classified. The moment in M phase, it further be classified into four phases: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. This one is prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and what? Telophase. Clear? And this one is what? G1 phase, S phase, and this one is what? G0. Correct? So that's why here I'm writing what? Gap 1 phase. This is known as what? Gap 1 phase. Clear? This one is also known as post mitotic phase. Post mitotic phase. This one is what? Synthesis phase. One is which type of phase? Synthesis, where the DNA goes replicated. In replication of DNA will occur where? In a gene, S phase. And this one is what? Gap 2 phase. This one is what? Gap second. Correct? Or you say or you say what? Pre-mitotic phase, pre-mitotic phase, or pre-mitotic phase, or you say post-synthesis phase, post-synthesis, post-synthesis phase. Clear? Here you also say uh, pre-synthetic phase. I'm writing here pre-synthetic phase. Clear? So this one is the thing that is important to read. Okay. So see, this one is the what the name of the phases. See, now see here that what the each phases have. Okay. So now see, here you see in a mind map, M phase. In M phase, that is what karyokinesis. Karyokinesis divided into four parts. That is prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. This cytokinesis in animal cell and plant cell. After performing the karyokinesis, it perform what? Cytokinesis. I tell you here that what about the karyokinesis? What about the cytokinesis? Clear? Okay. And this one is the interphase. Interphase is what? G1 phase, G2 phase, sorry, S phase, and this one is what? G2 phase. Clear? So let's see what these all phases have written and what these all phases tell us about. Okay. So now I'm going to tell you of some little bit information through NCERT, my dear. Okay. So let's check here. This one is the NCERT line. Clear? I'm going to tell you about this one thing. Okay. See here what I'm going to tell you. This one is the third unit of class 11 chapter, that is what? Cell cycle and cell division. Okay. See here what the thing is written here. If I'm going to tell you about the cell cycle in this very chapter, so what we know here, first see. Clear? So here the cell cycle. Here I'm going to start from where? Cell cycle. And the cell cycle means what? The cell division is very important process in all living organisms. You all know that the cell division is very, very essential. Why? Because we all know that each and every time continuously the cell goes what? They're replicated or divide. So that's why the need of what division is necessary. So during the division of cell, DNA replication and cell growth also take place. Clear? The DNA replication. So where the replication will take place? In S phase. That is synthesis phase. In a synthesis phase, the DNA replication will take place, my dear. Correct? Yes. All these processes is known as what, my dear? Cell division. Clear? So once the DNA replication and then after the cell growth will also take place. So these all very processes is known as what? Cell division. The firstly the DNA replication and the cell growth hence have to take place in a coordinated way. What I'm saying here, in a coordinated way. So which one take place first? Here the correct sequence of what? Correct divisions and the formation of progeny cells containing intact genome. So here when I'm saying about the eventually divides into two daughter cells is termed as cell cycle. So the first the size of the cell grow, then after goes what? Division. And division here first started, that is what? A division of nucleus known as what? Karyokinesis. And then after the division of what? Cytoplasm known as what? Cytokinesis, my dear. So if I'm saying here that the synthesis of the other constituent of cell eventually divide into two daughter cells is termed as, my dear, what? Cell cycle. Is termed as what, my dear? Cell cycle. So although the cell growth in terms of what? Cytoplasmic increase. What I'm saying? Cytoplasmic increase. So if the cytoplasmic increases in a continuous process, in which process? Continuous process, then DNA synthesis also occur, and only during one specific stage in a cell cycle. You know, this cytoplasmic increase, DNA synthesis, these only occur in a specific stage in a cell cycle. So, in this various stages, the replicated chromosomes, that is DNA, are then distributed to where? Distributed to the daughter's nuclei. Getting I'm saying what I'm saying? By a complex series of events during the cell division. So here we can say also that cell cycle is a what complex series of event. It is a what complex series of event, and this complex event of series of event is responsible for the synthesis not only but also what a specific division of cell also. So these events are themselves under a genetic control. So which one control this all event? By a genetic control. My dear. Now see this one is the phases of cycle which is given in mind map also and here in the NCERT also. Clear? Let's check from here. This one. Okay, let's check here. The first in this very phases of the cell cycle, see here, this one is the M phase. What I'm saying here? This one is what? M phase, my dear. Clear? And from this one, all are what? Interphase. Getting? So a typical eukaryotic cell is illustrated by a human cell in culture. So if anybody can ask you where this typical eukaryotic cell cycle be illustrated, it can illustrated only in a human cell culture, my dear. Clear? So you already know that the cell divide once in approximately every 24 hours. You know how much time will take to divide a cell? 24 hours, my dear. Clear? So this duration of the cell cycle can vary from organism to organisms. They are not same as the every organism. So this timing of division of cell vary from organisms to organisms. But in human, it takes how many? 24 hours. How much times here, my dear? 24 hours. What about in yeast? Yeast, for example, can progress in about how many minutes? 90 minutes. Okay. So in yeast, the cell cycle is only about how many minutes? 90 minutes, my dear. Clear? Now see, the cell cycle is divided into how many phases? Two phases. See, one is what? Interphase, second one is what? M phase. Getting my point? This M phase is also known as what? Mitosis phase. M phase is also known as what? Mitosis phase. So in this very phase, when I'm going to tell you about this very phase, here it occurs in 24 hours average duration of cell cycle, in a human cell. So cell division proper lasts for only about an hour, and this interphase lasts more than 95% of the duration of cell cycle. Is that clear? So if anybody can ask you that how much time, see here, what I'm going to tell you here I'm going to tell you that how much time will take interface. You know that mostly how much time I'm saying here? 95%. 95% time invest where in an interface and only the 5% time were invested in a M phase, my dear. So this one is the thing. Getting my point or not? So this one is the thing. See here. See here. This one is also written here, na? Yes. So see what I'm saying. 95% of the duration of the cell cycle were in interphase, more than 95%. So the M phase start with the nuclear division. So if anybody can ask you in M phase, which one division will take place here? That is what nuclear division. It means what? Division of nucleus material, right? Here, the corresponding to the separation of what? Daughter chromosomes. What I'm saying? Daughter chromosomes. Daughter chromosomes, it means what? Karyokinesis. Getting my point? So here, the firstly, the division of cell will start from nucleus. That is what? Karyokinesis. And ends with the division of what? Cytoplasm, known as what? Cytokinesis, my dear. Hope so. This one is clear or not? So check this one thing. Check this one thing I am telling here or not. Yes. The firstly, which one occur here in this one? Take place. Check here. The firstly, which one? Karyokinesis. Then after the word, the cytokinesis. Is that clear? Yes. Check here. These all things I have telling. Now, see, after that, we all know that this interphase, though called resting phase also. What we say? Resting phase. Or you say this interphase is known as what? Preparing for division. So that's why it is also known as preparatory phase. Clear? So this interphase is divided into how many further phases? Three phases. G1 phase, gap 1 phase, S phase synthesis phase, and G2 phase, gap 2. Clear? Clear? So this one point is clear to all of you? Okay. Now, after that, whenever we start this one all phases, so let's see what we should have to be. Here, the first in G1 phase corresponding to the interval between mitosis and initiation of DNA replication. So whenever I'm going to tell you about what happens in a G1 phase, so G1 phase is such a phase which is responsible to occurs the event in between mitosis and initiation of DNA replication. So once the DNA replication goes initiated, in that mean period, there is what division of G1 phase, my dear. So during this G1 phase, the cell is metabolically active. So if anybody can ask you, which one phase is cell is metabolically active and continuously grows? Yes. Then what you tell? Yes, this one. Yes. Wait for a moment. I'm going to write this a blank slide. In G1 phase, I'm going to write here. In G1 phase, the cell is most metabolic active. The cell is what? Most metabolic active. Getting my point? Cell is what? Most metabolic active cell. So if anybody can ask you that which one phase is the most metabolic active phase, then what you say? G1 phase. But but DNA of replication, but replication of DNA. Wait a moment. But what I'm saying here, wait a moment. But replication of DNA, will not occur like not clear. So most metabolic active phases were G1 phase. Clear? But this one phase is not a what occurred here, the replication of DNA. So replication of DNA will only take place in which one phase? S phase of the cell cycle. Right? So see here, this was the thing given in NCERT. Clear? So what I'm saying here that continuously grow but not replicate DNA. See, metabolically active phase but continuously grow but does not replicate what DNA, my dear. So in S or synthesis phase, mark the period of during which DNA synthesis or you say the replication take place. So if anybody can ask you in which phase the replication of DNA will take place, then what you say? Yes, in S phase, my dear, that is what synthesis phase. Clear? So in this very phase, the time of DNA per cell goes what double. So if the initial amount of DNA is noted as 2C, then it increased to what? 4C, my dear. See, I'm saying here that if the amount of, see, what I'm saying here, if the amount of, wait a moment, if the amount of, here, goes in a figure here, if the amount of, wait a moment, here, when I'm in a G1 phase, G1 phase, here the amount is what? 2C of chromosomes, then here the amount become what? 4C, my dear. This one thing I'm saying. Okay. So the amount of the chromosomes in gap 1 phase is 2C. Then after in S phase, the amount of DNA become how much? 4C, my dear. So this one thing I'm going to tell you. Is that clear? So this one thing is clear. So see here, DNA synthesis replication takes place during the time of amount of DNA per cell double. So if the initial amount of DNA is denoted as 2C, then it increases to what? 4C. However, there is no increase in the chromosome number. The chromosomes number will be the same, but the amount of cell goes what? Double, my dear. Clear? So if the cell had haploid or 2n number of chromosomes at G1, even after S phase, the number of chromosomes remain the same, that is 2n. Getting my point or no? So the amount of chromosomes number is not goes increases. The amount of chromosomes number will be there what? Same. But the amount of DNA per cell goes double, but the number of chromosomes remain what? Same, my dear. So if the number of chromosomes in G1 phase is 2n, then after S phase also the number of chromosome is also what? 2n. So the amount of chromosomes never goes increases, only the DNA per cell goes double, my dear. So this one is the important point that you have to be must keep in mind, my dear. Okay. Now see, what about in animal cell? So you would know that in animal cell during S phase, what I'm saying, during S phase, DNA replication begin in the nucleus. You already know that where the DNA replication will take place in animal cell. Yes, in S phase, my dear. So here centrioles duplicate. What does centrioles duplicate? Centrioles duplicate where? In cytoplasm. Clear? So one thing is very important to know that in animal cell, which one phase the replication of DNA will take place? Yes, S phase, that is synthesis phase. After that, it means that what? In centrioles get duplicated where in a cytoplasm. During the G2 phase, yani growth second phase. So what the thing is occurred there? Proteins are synthesized in preparation for mitosis while cell growth continues. So here in the G2 phase, the synthesis of protein will take place for mitosis and the cell grow continuously. What I'm saying? Cell grow continuously. But here after knowing these all very things, there are some cells in adult animals. What I'm saying? In adult animals, my dear, I'm saying do not appear to exhibit division. You know, that is what herd cell cannot goes divided and other cells divide only occasionally. Yes or no? So all the cells not divided as a need to replace a cell that have been lost because of injury or cell death. Getting what I'm saying? So as the need to replace cells, then they need to their what divide, otherwise not. So these cells do not divide further. So that's why they adjust in G1 phase to enter an inactive stage called quiescent stage. Let's see with the help of diagram. Here I'm going to tell you with the help of what, my dear? Diagram. See this one. See this one. Here I'm saying that in this very cell cycle, and I'm going to draw another phase that is a what? Quiescent phase. G0 phase is here. Getting what I'm saying? So in some cases, there sometimes the cell goes into a what quiescent phase. It means that it doesn't further goes in their division. So here this one is what quiescent phase. What I'm writing here. This one is what quiescent phase material. Correct? See, this one is what quiescent phase. Quiescent phase or quiescent stage you say G0 phase of the cell cycle. Clear? Yes. So cell divide only occasionally as needed to replace cells as have been lost because of injury or cell death. So this cell do not divide further adjust G1 phase to enter in inactive phase. So if the cell not goes divide, then in which phase they go? They adjust the G1 phase as goes where in a quiescent stage, my dear. Right? Now, the point is here to be noted that cell in this stage remain metabolically active. What I'm saying? In this very phase, cell remain metabolically active, my dear. But now the question is here, no longer proliferate unless called on to do so, depending on the requirement of what, my dear, organisms. So depending on the requirement of organisms, there is proliferative phases. It means that the phases, unless it do not depending on the requirement of the organisms, my dear. Getting my point? See, in animal cell, mitotic cell division is only seen where? In a diploid somatic cell. Somatic cell, that is also called body cell. So if I'm saying here that, so which one division will take place in a somatic cell of animal, then what you say? Mitotic cell division. Clear? Which one? Cell division? Mitotic cell division. So in animal cell, mitotic division take place. In a which one cell? Diploid. That is a double set of chromosomes. Yes, diploid cells. But, but here some few exception also. So what the few exception here? That can it also take place in a haploid cells also. Haploid cells divided by mitosis. You know what the exception is here? The exception is here male honeybees. Yes, rotifiers. Against the plant can show mitotic division on both haploid and diploid cell. See, whenever I'm talking about an animal cell, then the division, that is cell division, only be occurred in a diploid somatic cell. Getting my point? This one is the very first point that is very important. But here some few exception is here that mitotic cell division will also take place in a haploid cell also. That example is what? Male honeybee. Getting? Now, the second point here that we must have to be keep in mind that both haploid and diploid cells plant show what mitotic division. So in a plant, whenever either they haploid cells or diploid cells, the mitotic division will take place, my dear. Getting my point? So from recollection of these very examples, so alternation of generation might be here the term alternation of generation in chapter 3, my dear. Yes, chapter 3 of unit 1. Yes, I'm saying about the plant kingdom, my dear. Yes or no? So identify the specific stages at which the mitosis is seen in haploid cells. Alternation of generation. Yes or no? So these all will the take place where in a plant cell, my dear. So now the time here to know about, first we check here that here this one phases is clear completely. G1 phase, S phase, G2 phase completely. So now the time to know here about which one phase is occurred during a mitosis of what? In a prophase, then after in metaphase, then after anaphase, and what? Telophase, my dear. This one is the meiosis. I am telling about only the what? Mitosis, my dear. Clear? Clear? Yes, see. But here all the points, whatever it is written here all the meiosis, my dear. See here the meiosis reductional division. You know, the cell cycle occurs in two way. Let's check here what I'm going to write. See first. Here I'm going to tell you that the cell cycle occur in two way. One is what? Mitosis. If I'm saying what? Mitosis. And second one is what? Meiosis. So if I'm saying here that the mitosis means what? Division of what I'm saying? Somatic cell, my dear. What I'm saying? Division of somatic cell. And in meiosis, my dear, what I'm saying here? Division of division of germ cell. What I'm saying? Division of what? Germ cell. Okay. Getting my point? So if I'm saying here that the division of the germ cell, it means that here only the division of what? Gametes. And here when I'm saying about the division of somatic cell, it means that here I'm saying about what? Body cell media. Getting my point? Getting my point? Yes. So this one is the basic thing, that is what about the cell cycle media, right? So this one is the mitosis and this one is what? Meiosis media. Now, the point is here to be noted that in a mitosis here, that is what the occurs here in a phases, that is prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. In the same way, here is also, but here we say what? Prophase 1, prophase 2, here the prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, and telophase 2 also. Here, so now here I'm going to tell you about something little bit information that is given in NCERT about the M phase. On that very M phase, that is what division of what karyokinesis. So first we have to know about what prophase, then after metaphase, then after ana, and then telophase, my dear. Okay, so see, this one is the important to know here. See here, what I'm going to tell you here, and I'm going to tell you about which one thing, about the M phase first. And you know that this phase is what I'm saying here, most dramatic period of the cell cycle. Why I'm saying here that the most dramatic period? Because in this very phase, a major reorganization of virtually all components of the cell. So see, most dramatic phase, it means that major reorganization of virtually all component of cell. So if I'm saying that the virtually reorganization of the cells mainly take place in M phase matter, so that's why it is a dramatic phase. Since the number of the chromosomes in the patterns and progeny will be the same, but the numbers and chromosomes that will be not change. It is also called equational division. Getting my point? Getting my point? So if their chromosomes in the parents and the progeny cell is not changed, is we remain same, then it is known as what? Equational division. So though for convenience, so mitosis has been divided into 4 stages. You know what the 4 stages? And you know that these 4 stages occur where? In a nucleus. So that's why it is known as also karyokinesis or nuclear division here. So here it is very essential to understand that cell division is a progressive process. What I'm saying? Cell division is which type of process? Progressive process, and a very clear cut line cannot be drawn between various stages, because what the things is here? Here the things, it means that whatever the things is written here, it is not a clear cut, but there is a what line of between these all very various stages, but the very minute line is here. Let me see. First, the karyokinesis, which involve following 4 stages. Number one, that is what? 4 stages. Number one, prophase, then after metaphase, anaphase, and telophase, my dear. Getting my point? So this one is the thing. So after that, my dear, when we move ahead and we go through details of this very mind map, then I will show you about the prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase in M phase, that is mitotic phase, and then after here we move through, that is you know G1 phase, then after S and G2 phase, my dear. Then the mitosis will be clear. Then after the meiosis, I will show you what occurs in prophase first, metaphase first, and anaphase, telophase first, and then after prophase second, metaphase second, and because meiosis also occurring two, meiosis first and meiosis second, my dear. Okay, getting my point or not? Yes. So I will show you in a details after this one video. Okay, thank you for watching. Thank you. Have a nice day.